appropriate punish pick against the French Moon. While Dust2 has historically been a French map, and in this particular case, I don't see that being any different.
And we even saw Dust2 being a struggle for Endpoint try and come to qualify into the conference. What can they do here in the pistol round? Well, the initial stance means that they're shut out of the A site. Surreal's down here towards City Spawn. Everyone's trying to get into taking positions. The bomb going down for long.
One player extended towards long as well. Will have to be the main defensive line, the last line of defense, perhaps. Afro picked up by NertZ. 4-on-3 for Endpoint on the retake, and they're all inbound from the exact same position. CT spawn, where Jocko will try to peek towards evade the flashbang, shoot Max in the back of the head, try and look for that second kill as body is traded. Headshots lining up for days on Jocko, looking for the quadrant, but Exercise steals it for one kill of his own right, and that's a pistol, the third pistol of the game for HEET.
Mate, what a sequence that is coming through from Jocko, and it just felt there from HEET, even though it looks like they're kind of caught out in the open. You've got a ramp player exposed from long, out to short towards CT. Jocko just delivers in the best position possible to crossfire him with Exercise. And overall, there was a lot of positives there for Endpoint coming into the retake. Not positives at the end of the round.
No, I mean, it doesn't help that we're all bunched up at the same time, so that's the only angle that he had to watch. Ultimately, the headshots came in appropriate as they didn't quite face one by one, but they still managed to face, like, individually, give up the individual fights.
And now you even come the second round, Endpoint deciding not to force buy, instead just going for the anti-eco and take it very lightly, just those USPs. So you would imagine here, Jay, a fairly simple second round, and for HEET, they don't want to lose any bodies.
Leaning in for body's part. Just watching out towards that mid-doorway position, but not seeing anything for the time being.
Endpoint trying to see if they can get a stack involved. A lot of players in and around the mid doors to try and see if they can set a trap up and see if they can draw those fights further forward. Lining up some further utility towards gaining that short control, and knowing that the A site's fairly opened up, you're going to have a pretty simple take.
Mid-control taken, still looking for something in that position for Endpoint's part, the USPs. Watching the AKs and the Galil, waiting for them to make their move, but they extend out towards mid. The backstab might be the main concern for HEET here. Walking out towards the site won't be a concern. Afro sees what's really going on. That scout can't deal with many players at all. body's AK next up the task. As the face in, his Exercise will get that one kill towards Crucial. The jump face still not spotted by bodyy. Looking around the outside of the smokes. Gets the kill on Kirby. NertZ with the trade back. And a 3-on-2 for the HEET side. Probably should turn around from him. Yeah, a little bit of damage being done by Endpoint, but nothing significant.
No, not at all. Decent timing of allowing that backstab to come through, up on the Xbox position, get down onto the short angle, and just overall be able to catch the slight window where the backs are kind of turned. You don't have Afro in a great position to hold off against mass players, so a couple of bodies go down. It's a slightly expensive round, but at the same time, it's a 2-0 start. Now the importance goes down into a rifle round, and just knowing for HEET how strong their Dust2 has been coming into this event, you know that Endpoint are going to have a tough time if they want to compete in a map like this.
Yeah, this map probably will be the tough one of the series. I'm mentioning it on the desk that it's map 1 and 3 where Endpoint will look to take the series. Here on Dust2, not quite likely to take it into. M4's out once again. Endpoint with their buy-up. HEET taking a bit of damage, which will keep the buy-up a little bit limited if Endpoint can take this round. Big if though. Kirby does start things off roughly on the right foot. 15 HP from Deco. That Molotov might even just get him here. To extend, and yeah, there's the kill.
Very good molly. Force him out into the open. And for HEET, they just wanted to go a little bit more contact play and get deep med control. Counter utility coming through disallows any further walk forward out from the mid doors. But overall, for Endpoint, they actually don't have anyone on A. They've taken the long control. They've lost that 1-for-1 duel out in mid. So it's going to have to be a retake setup right now.
Yeah, 60 seconds. The walk forward, we'll see nothing once again. HEET about to take the site pretty easy. Crucial and Max be the first responders to the A side retake. You mentioned that earlier. All have to be on the retake for the CT side. Bomb should go down safely here towards the short control. It's the one part of the site that the HEET side will have. And then they'll back off towards it.
Yeah, this is a very difficult retake. Only one kit in mind, not a crazy amount of util, and even Exercise is maintaining the position towards short. And players coming down from CT, that's going to get heard.
The smoke set. Exercise watching the flashbang sent over as the AK tries to swing, and Surreal and Crucial get their frag. Now 2 left stands on the site, and Body only lines up 1. Exercise good for nothing, and it's a retake successful for Endpoint. Yeah, they got kits, so they should be fine. Absolutely okay for NertZ. And there's that opening round for the CT side, coming in much earlier in this map.
Yeah, he was actually doing a very good job of time stalling in that post-plant. A couple of smokes go down towards that short position, but as soon as that crunch came in from long and CT, it felt as if there was a lot of players falling very quickly. They just weren't able to waste any further from that point onwards. And of course, when you know you've got that kid in mind and NertZ to get into a good position, just dive him onto the bomb, get that retake going, and Endpoint find their first round on the City side.
You can see the damage that's been done to HEET as a result of that from the earlier eco. Deagle's out on 2. AK's in first, out towards that longhouse take. Molotovs tries to press the initial engagements, but 2 players have got towards big box, and the blue box area, I should say. 2 boosted back on towards the site. MiGHTYMAX and Crucial will be on the defensive line. Not challenging long directly. A bit unorthodox, but can be expected. Long as a massive gamble for the CTs.
And when we think about changes between these 2 lineups this year, obviously for Endpoint, we've seen a coaching change, we've seen a player change as well. For HEET, the only change actually was Double Pony signing to HEET. We actually haven't had any changes other than the fact that they got signed by an org.
Yeah, the same 5-man unit sticking together, doing work. Establishing themselves among that tier 2 scene. Looking to establish themselves in tier 1. Can they break through that glass ceiling? Well, Max, target of his own right. It's Afro and Body that will fall towards his hands. The M4 still on site, makes it a triple, in fact. Jocko's out. Lucky, desperate to get that trade, but damage being done. MiGHTYMAX gives him another chance, and he gets that double, but now has to get the full-on ace to get this round.
That splendid hold coming down from Max, down there from that short position. And now for Lucky, so difficult to even make this round more expensive.
Yeah, reload held, smoke's down, the flashes will catch him off blind. He'll hide inside of that smoke, though. Continuous burst. NertZ check it, Crucial won't, doesn't matter. NertZ will get his kill, and Endpoint will have their second.
Okay. We're starting to get some glimpses now. We know probably the 2 guys to keep an eye out for on Dust2 for Endpoint, and it's obviously NertZ and probably Crucial as well. Again, the sample size is so limited for someone like Kirby when we think about recent results that we can't pull anything from that department. But Max having a really high standard on a hold in a round like that, because he'd lost quite a few of his teammates and they needed a playmaker, and he was there to deliver. Yeah, all alone on short boxes and had to stand up and get multiple frags. That's what he did quite perfectly at that. It's only 3 so far in this game. Maybe many more to come, though, if he continues like this. HEET with just pistols once again. 2 Deagles, 3 Glocks, no Kevlar, and 1 flashbang on Afro. That's all the utility happened. Already Body's down to the hands of MiGHTYMAX. Will extend his kill count to 4. HEET will drop down to 4. And just knowing how strong HEET are on the City side in the tier 2 atmosphere of Dust2, you've got to be thinking for Endpoint 9+ rounds in this first half has got to be a realistic goal. That's what you've got to be aiming for.
That's Crucial with the next frag. 1 step closer to the Endpoint goals. Surreal. Next on to Exercise. NertZ leaning in. No, confident, but still getting a lot out of that confidence. Lineup was there. Lucky known. Not actually on the bait around the pillars themselves, but NertZ will get that kill in the end. Of course, no Kevlar, no real firepower to counteract the trade, so all 5 alive for Endpoint. Good stuff. Lead gained much earlier again this time. Guns will stay in, those AKs in particular, across 3 individuals, saved from the previous round and everything. So a lot of firepower to play with up against the full buy now for HEET.
10 wins and 1 loss in the last 3 months for HEET on Dust2. And trying to make it a very strong map in their pool. One that is significantly picked higher than any others in the pool from them. Afro boosted up with that AWP, trying to look down towards a mid pick. Nothing's being granted. NertZ isn't giving up that opportunity.
And the walk forward. Again towards that bottom of a mid position. Mid doors being defended by Kirby, but suppressed by a smoke. Can't see anything. Can't even see above Xbox or Catwalk. So right now HEET have full control of mid, but they want to play in towards CT mid, it looks like. Smoke's being sent down, but it's all a ruse. They actually go towards tunnels.
Yeah, it's very silent as of right now for HEET, and if it is a mid to B split, which is indicating it is, this is actually a very good read coming through from Endpoint. There is 3 players right now on B, and HEET just don't have that information that they're running into a stack.
Yeah, spray is coming down from NertZ. Jocko. AK leaning forward. Incendiary is ready for NertZ's own part. One player on the boost, undetected. Surreal still gets dealt with. Kirby and NertZ double up at the crossfire. 3 more players from HEET, all 3 of which are in the tunnel's entrance. Backup's going to be a little bit far away here for Endpoint. Oh, and they see a small pixel. Shots coming in from Lucky and bodyy overwhelm the CT defensive, bringing the 3-on-2 for HEET. And I think Endpoint might save off the back of this.
I don't know how that's possible. I really don't at all. You've got 3 players down there on that B side. That round should be done just off of the basis that the stack is being read forward, or at least the anticipation of a B split or a BXE out from the upper tunnels is hitting onto 3 CTs. And after that initial contact, the man advantage gained, the fact that you've got double AKs holding off B, and HEET slow it down, work together, and break the crossfire apart.
Make it 3-all. Endpoint weren't expecting that. After such a great trade game as well being held on that B site, a pixel pretty much made the difference. You saw the player popping out of the central box.
They'll be disappointed on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Only spotted by an Orc, overwhelmed by 2 AKs. Kirby, of course, the target for the trade in the first place. How quickly a round can turn on its head here on Dust2. HEET will be happy, Endpoint will not.
Yeah, fun fact about Dust2 as well, Jay. It was the deciding map in both series for teams here to get into conference. For Endpoint, playing ITB in the grand finals, 16-13 on Dust2. And of course, in ECL playoffs for HEET in Season 40, 16-14 against OneWin. So we've seen some important maps of Dust2 in recent history.
Well, for Endpoint, it could be another Dust2 to get them into Pro League itself. Of course, they came in from the Premiership, is the tournament you're talking about, of course. I wonder, is there magic in the air for the British core?
Well, again, like to think back to Endpoint in history and HEET in history, both teams have actually been fairly proficient on Dust2. We know that for Endpoint, it's not the highest picked map in the pool from them, but they still pick it in best of 3 contexts. So this is definitely a map that you can look at and go, yeah, both teams have got success on it.
It's a great advantage to talk about the history of this map up, or I'll come back to that in a second, because Afro started off the round picking up MiGHTYMAX. Kirby trying to see if he can work into this long control, get to that trade. Crucial now swings forward to the AWP. Caught flash finds himself, but Exercise can't capitalize on the kill. Body can though. Exercise deals with Kirby, and that opens up the A site.
Yeah, Endpoint just want to retake that long control, put a little bit more emphasis forward of pressure, and instead what happens is HEET are already coming out of the gates. They're flying out of Longhouse, they've got flashes over high, and the slow creep forward just is not working out at all. Surreal and NertZ are the last couple left, and HEET have so much time spare just to bait some further duels, to make it so much more encroaching in a round like this.
A minute to work with. Bodyy tries to lean in. Backed up by his teammates. NertZ. Surreal just going to go for the peek for them. I make it work. A 3-man spray down. NertZ to the 1-on-1 against bodyy. The most driest of peaks, but it might still work out. Surely he doesn't win this round. 45 seconds against the AWP, and the M4 backs away. Sees him burst through to 1 point of health on the difference. bodyy just recovers it for HEET. But Endpoint, the ballsiest of players, and it damn near worked.
Oh, that's a close one. That is down to the finest of margins to recover a 2v4. NertZ, what a play. They're playing anti-flash, expecting a flash, but it doesn't come at all. It's not there. Oh, man. The what if has got to be in the thinking there for NertZ, knowing how impactful that round could have been.
Well, Maton giving a little bit of a motivational talk to his teammates, of course. Got a little bit too dicey in that round, and we've seen HEET take some tacticals off the back of rounds they shouldn't have taken so much damage. This would be the exact same case right here. 4-3. Lead still held by the Frenchman. Endpoint, with that damage being done, they know that they can justify a force back here.
Now, even Maton, only recently moving into a coaching position, an ex-pro, played on Platinum, LDLC, LDLC, the main team for a couple of rosters. And definitely saw him in some LAN events. And try and see if he can be the one to muster up more here from HEET on the T side. And just know that that was the round that's obviously separated the even playing field and given them a lead by 1.
Slow pace continues for the HEET side. Whether that was a call from Maton, I guess we'll find out. Pick up the pace very quickly here from Marcy. Surreal point blank against Jocko, gets that kill. And X has absolutely no idea. Surreal dead out of ammo though. So it's all on NertZ once again against 3. Lighting up a triple in the last round. Burst fire, immediate USP pulled out. Afro's forced to trade it. Still to the advantage of Endpoint, and the Molotov misses.
Yeah, very uncomfortable there for HEET. Not an easy side take at all. They have forced it back into a 2v3 and do have the opportunity of getting the bomb down. Slow this down in the post plant.
Oh, the backstab inbound from the SMG here. Be seen by Afro. Back to a 2-on-2 will go. A counter smoke in towards the tunnels. Misses again, but Crucial's got the AWP up close. Wins the fight. Now up against Afro. AWP for AWP battles for a 4K on the T-side player. They walk in from the side. Shots missing from Afro's part. MiGHTYMAX connects it, and that'll hold the round for Endpoint just.
Yeah, that's another tight round, and it came down to the anchors doing very well on the initial hold, just wasting a lot of time. I think NertZ is really shaping up to have a very good series overall, just knowing the way that he performed in the first map, knowing that he's multi-fragging again, wasting a lot of time, and then obviously in that sort of situation, it's a 2v3. You could see the way in which the Frenchmen of HEET are getting desperate. A very good flick comes through from the AWP out to the upper tunnels, but what about Crucial around that window position? That was the perfect response.
AWP doing all he could there. NertZ once again chiming in here for the Endpoint side on long, repositioning where he was over on that B site, catching Jocko and doing damage to Lucky right behind the man. The Eagles firing to that general area, hoping they can catch a Lucky headshot, but I don't think they're going to get as lucky as they might imply. I say that they are tagging NertZ down. Smoke's got to come through from his teammates, put out there immediately by MiGHTYMAX. There's a gap there that NertZ could get exploited from.
NertZ just knows as long as there's enough people around A pulling distraction, he should be alright to hide in this corner, just to be able to beat the bait. And crucially, even try to take a duel towards top mid. Okay. That was pretty quick too, adjusting down below.
Shots up against NertZ, continuing to tag him away. 11 HP for the man. Lucky needs one more good bullet. Just can't see the end of that smoke flashing at last. And there goes the kill. One back for HEET. Is still in favour of the Endpoint side. The smoke's being set down at the cross. A little bit mispositioned there. I think the spray's coming in good for Crucial as a result. Damage done to Body and Lucky. Bomb trying to commit. Kyobi's coming in for the backstab though. No one's watched it. Spray through. Afro's down. Lucky's down. At least they can get a bomb plant for this, but in a force fight scenario, it's not going to mean much for the next round.
No, not at all. You wanted more being gained out of that one, and knowing that they dealt with NertZ towards that car position, they wanted to try and get some more time on their side, start moving up towards that ramp position, maybe get the bomb down, and the factor is Kyobi's so quick on the flank, coming through from that longhouse position, wrapping in behind them, just didn't have time for HEET to get settled at all. And Rajan definitely bringing that emotional support coming forward to Endpoint. And again, just knowing that they've only managed 1 point, Jay, in the ESL World Rankings. They'd love to get some more points to get off about top 80 at the moment and try and get them, you know, some more invites to other events.
I mean, qualifying for Pro League would be one way you can make some points happen.
I would say so.
I'm pretty sure there's points up for grabs in conference as well.
Yeah, try and get as much as possible.
This win could be valuable to them. Of course, Endpoint are the ones in the lead. One map away from getting the win themselves. So HEET. Those guns pulled out again at half by Deco investment, kind of. Yeah, we're just trying to watch above that smoke. Doesn't see anything. They have been smart in the way that they place themselves. HEET. Slow walking up to Xbox. Smoke will start to clear. And move on to short.
I think it shows how much of a difference this buy could have been without a bomb plant. We probably would have seen Glocks across the board completely.
Yeah.
And that bomb plant's at least opted to a couple of upgrades. Not many, but a few.
Got to be pretty perfect headshots to make the impact happen, though. The run boost against Crucial. Anti-AWP play. Doesn't do much for Lucky. Kill found. Crucial watching for more at elbow. Perfect connection to Body, the same. The pistols fall down to the AWP and should fall down to the rest of the rifles. Have managed to force enough space out that they can get the bomb plant here. So that's again more money coming the way of HEET. But now Crucial stepping up to the plate. The M4 of NertZ swings up and Jocko stands alone. Dig up against it all. That's 1 and 2 headshots. Third one not quite landed. There's the second one. No, there it is. Falling down to Crucial's part. A little bit dicey with that opening sequence from him, but ultimately a round that does go the way of Endpoint, so all order has been restored in the server.
Has it? I mean, you've got to remember, 2 digs and a P250, they get 2 kills and a bomb plot. That's offering quite a lot in a round that there was not much investment on. Obviously, for Endpoint, you look at it, it's like, right, we're continuing the streak, we're adding more rounds to the tally, but from the perspective of HEET, they got way more out of that than they probably should have.
That's true. But it is still 3 players alive for Endpoint. So for the most part, they hit like the margin. They go past the line of what they need to say minimum success rate in that round. Small profit on the economy stake. Not nothing amazing. MiGHTYMAX M4 out. Sees one player crossing. Lucky with that opening frag onto Kirby. The trade is not good for MiGHTYMAX. 2 for 1 overall.
Yeah, he have been very impressive with the long takes. Anytime they've had good spawns, just flying it out of the gate, allowing to have good utility and good trade spacing. AWP, Jewel, and even a retake towards long by the CTs.
And smoke set to the corner for Afro. He'll fall back off the back of that, though, so they might give up that retake to Endpoint. Does spend a bit of time drawing their attention away from where they're really going. Up short in mid, M4, Surreal swings dangerously. Can't get out of dodge against the exercise. So 3 on 2, and B-site's completely open. I think HEET have got a read on that.
This is done. I can't really see much of a way back in here for Endpoint. If they can look for some exit frags and try and keep the round more expensive, then great, but there's no chance in the round.
And Crucial's trying to lean in and hopefully catch some player crossing at the B doors. Body does get legged for it, so there's that. But as you mentioned, it's just not enough in this case. The smoke might clear. Maybe he gets Afro. But if Afro's smart, he'll fall back in towards the tunnels. And NertZ will not be able to see him until it's way too late to go for this retake.
And NertZ averaging a 1.16 rating in the last 3 months on Dust2, 8 maps played. He's having one hell of a start here. 15 kills and 7 deaths. And considering the fact that Afro hasn't seen anything towards T-spawn, he might say, oh, well, let's just save in T-spawn. Go up towards that direction, and that might be right into the trap of NertZ.
All on him to get the damage and continue to keep HEET at bay. If he gets 1 kill, he actually gets them both.
Nice.
Yeah, okay. Heavy damage done to HEET, and that might be enough to go for the force fire against Endpoint. Burst fire doesn't get exercised. But the money's still okay for the CT side. They'll definitely buy here.
100%. And knowing that that AWP stays in play too, it just stabilizes ever so slightly, but that's a very impactful round, especially when you know that they're the 2 long players, that your mid individual of Surreal has kind of been caught off guard. You know that that round is done. So 2v3, look for exits, keep it expensive, and the buy-up is still very good with money in the reserve. You've still got 2,000 odd on the floater for Crucial.
And despite the success that Endpoint had on that post round, a second tactical timeout will still come through for them. Because HEET are hot on their heels. Only 1 round separates the 2 squads. You mentioned how the T-side half, if HEET can just make up a good 6 rounds or so, that could be enough to turn it over in the second. Well, this could be their moment to take that 6th. Lucky. Yet to buy. Should be able to invest, though. Everybody's got guns. And same can be said for Endpoint. They scraped together all the M4s. And in general, actually, not that many limitations. Even the utility is pretty good.
And we know that for Endpoint, they like picking into Vertigo, Mirage, and Dust2. That's normally the trio of maps that we see comfortability on. And as of right now, being able to provide a fair amount of that, bringing so many players out towards the long control. Unfortunately, this time, there's hardly any long presence for me.
Yeah, 4-man stack for Endpoint. Not even required to go there. So 2 players do break away and come back into the mid position. Crucial in particular, watching with the AWP. Blind by the smoke, still going to try to look for the challenge on Afro. Sees him and splatters his brains across the mid, as does NertZ to Jocko. 5 on 3.
Crucial's playing really well in this series, getting some impact, especially on the city sides. We saw that in the first map. Lucky with the flash over, trying to see if he can catch off MiGHTYMAX. At least the first, but doesn't know about the pit player.
And once again, a pixel makes a difference. He only just spotted MiGHTYMAX's back. The frag gets found. But you're right, they're unawares of Kirby here. It might not matter, though. Here you've got options. They can still go back into the B side. They can rotate Lucky away. Split play or A side take might be the main sort of issues that might crop up from that. NertZ watching mid, now backed up by 2 other players. Exercise score blinded by the flash. Perfect from Surreal, and even better from NertZ. Body down, Lucky alone.
Now, even though Kirby doesn't really exchange into too much of a duel, it's the information play. Knowing the fact that he's got no contact out in long, NertZ can think about rotating off of A, not worrying about that short position, going down aggressive towards the bottom of mid. And for Endpoint, 7 rounds on CT side, knowing that you weren't able to give HEET a bomb plant in the last, we're not going to see another buy-up. It's going to have to be an anti-eco that they'll be up against. We could be seeing them get closer towards that double-digit marker in the first half. And like I said, Jay, 9+ rounds would be a very good first half here for Endpoint.
Guns pulled out once again for them. As you mentioned, eco status for HEET. 1 upgrade on exercise, and that's about it. Where do they go with it? Slow walk again downstairs into the lower tunnels. Bodyy will lead that charge. But as is characteristic with these T-sides, they are very quiet until Crucial spots the first. Lands that shot, takes a bit of damage to the Eagle. Shots ring in. Up, sees them. Not quite as accurate for that second and third kills. There goes Jocko at long last. And now Max ready to receive the last few players of the longhouse position. Should be pretty easy with the crossfire of Kiabi as well, who actually takes the brunt of the offensive line. Makes it a triple. And keeps all 5 alive for Endpoint. No bomb plant this time for HEET. But like you mentioned, guns can come back.
And for Endpoint, they obviously realize that they're in a pretty good position right now. And I think we do know in the conference with the level of these sort of teams that you perform on the day, you maybe outclass them in a certain map, and mentally you can just get yourself into a position of an important victory. And knowing that it takes 2 wins in the upper bracket, your opening game here in conference is so vital to win.
Orp looking down mid from Afro. Trying to find the first man crossing. Endpoint keeping themselves as protected as possible, evading that mid doors unless necessary. Smoke's coming down into the incendiaries. Bodyy not far forward enough. As the utility starts to fade, he might get that chance, but it's a re-smoke from Endpoint, so chance denied again.
Now, Endpoint getting some pretty good protocols of just locking down this long control. It seems like it's going to get taken slightly later into the round by 3 individuals from HEET. A bit of a walkout. And Kirby on the other side, just thinking about how much information and noise he can hear from these short players, if at all possible.
He's caught nothing at the moment, though. 60 seconds, and it'll continue to be nothing outside of the flash of stone to Crucial's general direction. 2 on long. Him and MiGHTYMAX, the AWP, watching the long house. First face in the AWP at the T side. The flashes come forward with 3 could line up, and Max only gets damaged. Crucial now standing alone, about to get sandwiched in by HEET. Flash keeps him blinded. He waits for a lucky shot, and nothing connected towards it. Jocko takes him, but Kiabi trades.
Excellent utility there from HEET to make it so uncomfortable for the AWP out of long. NertZ trying to spam through the smoke, but it's already too late. They need to get back in towards that long control, and at least it's being held by the moment from Afro.
Risky plant on shore, and they can't go for the jump face. The incendiary comes down. Afro turns away from Kirby. Jocko taking damage. Bodyy with the trade, though, gets the advantage back. Afro now watching long house. Swing from Kirby still goes well. Flash in towards long as Bodyy and Jocko back off. It's all left to Kirby, the newest addition to Endpoint, the Dane, the major champion. Nade starts, spots one shoulder bait, trying to look for Bodyy. Trying to look for the kill against the man, sees the shoulder now, taps to respond to show it, he knows that he's there. Jocko low HP, Bodyy takes face here, be caught off guard, and Bodyy can finish off the job to claim the round for HEET.
That's proper class in that 2v1. They just don't overpeak at all. You've got the low HP player in the elevator position, and then even for Bodyy, I think we've seen how sensible he can be in important rounds, Jay. Just jiggling to capture information, but not jiggling for a fight. Doesn't need to engage. There's no reason for it. You just want a time stall. You want to waste it. You want to make it so awkward for Kirby to make that 1v2 possible. And for HEET, that 6th might even give them a leg up to keep this half as close as possible.
You mentioned 9 rounds is still good enough for Endpoint, at least in all suspicions. I'm starting to have other thoughts about that, though. HEET guaranteed at a maximum Endpoint can get 9. NertZ wants to guarantee that. Be the case, certainly. Afro gets surreal. 1 trade out of 2 gained by Endpoint. Bodyy with a swing. That's a mistake. Now a 4-on-2 for the CT side.
Insane that NertZ has got up to 21 frags now in this first half. And just that upper tunnel's crunch, the slow walk contact in the lower tunnels up to the top, and 9-6 at the turn of the half. Endpoint, they've been electric, Jay. I've been loving this. And it really feels like now, coming to the second half, they might just have what it takes after the break.
From the back roads to back streets, I see you foes trying to trap me, but I don't run like a track meet, even though I'm #1 like an athlete. And the way I maneuver around you and through you, I'm coming and I'm bound to pursue you. I'm everything that you knew of, plus more. What's in store is I'm about to get to you. Sleepless nights, better think this twice before you step to me and come and speak with strife. There's a lesson when you reach my life. It'll be chin-checking and I'll teach you right. Plenty tried, plenty failed. Too many times I've seen plenty bail. And there will be no surprise what I'm about to do when you are looking through my eyes. See many go, see many come. See that they won't bring it to me, son. Try me if you want, but won't be any fun. I'll take the challenge, I'll be anyone. I'm the one, I'll be quite clear. Bow down to no one, I'm right here. I get it in, I don't fight fair. And guess what? I'm your worst nightmare. Cause I ain't taking no losses. And I don't even care what the cost is. Are you prepared for the forces I'm about to bring? Cause I'm the boss of all bosses. I penetrate your thoughts and fill them with doubt. You gon' feel where I'm coming and feel what I'm about. If they come in with the drama, I'm wheeling them out. Cause I ain't about to have somebody here stealing my clout. I keep my friends close, enemies closer. Cause that's the way it is and the way it's supposed to be. Anybody can see there's only room for one, and that one is me. Plenty tried, plenty failed. Too many times I've seen plenty bail. And there will be no surprise what I'm about to do when you are looking through my eyes. See many go, see many come. See that they won't bring it to me, son. Try me if you want, but won't be any fun. I'll take the challenge, I'll be anyone. I'm the one, I'll be quite clear. Bow down to no one, I'm right here. I get it in, I don't fight fair. And guess what? I'm your worst nightmare. I'm your worst nightmare. Are you prepared?
Well, Endpoint reach minimum standard on their first half. The second is where things will get a little bit difficult. We saw things get awkward on their T side over on Overpass, but I think we might have to turn our attention to HEET on this one, Dweg. How's their CT side?
Mate, it is one of the best CT sides of Dust2 in this entire competition. Nearly 75% of round win on that side. And just knowing that that is across 11 maps played in the last 3 months. We're not talking about a small margin. We're talking about a lot of Dust2 played.
Indeed. Again, primary map to see them pick out on this one. Dust2, we expect to be a HEET victory, of course. And this might be where they take control. Flawless CT half potential?
Maybe not that far, but I think we'll definitely see some different characteristics. We'll probably see some double AWPing, actually.
Let's find out. HEET into the pistol round. MiGHTYMAX the first man out. Buddy hopping his way ahead of the long house. And Lucky is spotted but not dead. Afro and Exercise chime in instead. Crucial and Surreal down and out. 5-on-3 for Endpoint to potentially bow away from this. Lucky Spotting out nothing really. Information being gained. Kirby finally chimes in with a decent trade. Couple players extremely low HP for the Heat side, but headshots are plenty for Afro. No, nothing being gained of this. Finally, Kirby drops to NertZ's quick response, and now Endpoint have brought it to a 2-on-2.
Now, even though he got it into a 5v3, they keep fighting because they know the Gooshes are going to hurt them in the long run. They know they have to try and get more of an advantage. And now for NertZ, we saw how much he did in the first half. We can now see what he does in the second. Knowing he's in a 2v2, this is the perfect environment to get him fired up.
60 seconds left. He spotted the man on the site. Did bodyy see the bomb? May have been able to do so. Pass back by NertZ will take the brunt of the offensive line. See bodyy tag him up, but get taken down. All left to Max now in the round. Spot headshots, but can't adjust to Jocko. And there's the pistol gained by HEET.
And can we just reflect again? 4 for 4 in pistols for HEET. That's kind of insane of just how many pistol rounds we've seen. And for Endpoint, obviously that's not the start that you're looking for in the second half. That long contact came through with quite a grand crossfire in general. And it's Jocko, one of the B players, to actually be the one to lock it out and to finish off the round as a success for the Frenchman.
And Endpoint, as is characteristic for their second round breaks, and the T side will not opt to go for the heavy investment either. Glocks in. Bomb plant bonus to enable a decent, well, very good buy actually in round 18. They'll have a buy regardless. Loss bonus will stack up that far. For now, it's just contact and passive contact at that. Endpoint not too eager to rush down the Heat side here.
Yeah, very difficult to get a bomb plant on Dust2 T side when you're in a round like this. You just got to hope to not get fast. Crossfire out towards that long position. Mars turning onto a sentry, and Exercise just mowing down with his teammate in with the scout. And so far, it's been fairly easy pickings.
Yeah, 1 on 5 now for Surreal. Tagged down, taken out by Lucky. So not a lot of farming going on there for the Heat side. Walking into the FAMAS and only getting the $300 kills, as opposed to the $1,600 gained in the mid control. No one does 4, however, for the CT
yeah, that
side.
does help.
So Heat can play this as a bonus round now as the guns come out.
And we saw for Endpoint, the second round that they played in the EU RMR B event, Jay, was against Entropic in a best-of-1. 3-16 on Dust2. And we saw over on their T side only managing 2 rounds in that first half. So will history repeat itself?
Well, time will tell, but that time is now. 9-8, Endpoint. Chance to defend the lead right here. You can imagine that if they lose this round, it will be 10-9 for HEET. Very important rifle round to take a victory on, and even then they won't be able to fully solidify themselves in that lead because, again, HEET with a bonus investment. The FAMAS, the SMG, the Scout, all staying in for them. Exercises FAMAS will be the first player out on the long defensive.
HEET want to get aggressive mid. You can see by the starts, and it's just a peak for information, actually. And for Exercise, you wonder if he's going to get checked.
Flash misses, and Exercise can get that one good kill. Crucial, faster response towards it, but it's given HEET enough breathing room and time to rotate back into defensive positions, in particular for Afro on the Scout. Might pass that off the body. He's thinking of getting some util thrown out towards his direction there. Smoke goes towards the upper site. Body's ready for a defense.
Try and get the underhand smoke down, working and around it. Even for Afro, just any damage is good damage.
Yeah, tagged up. MiGHTYMAX looked like a headshot. Wasn't quite there. Bodyy with a swing. Doesn't see NertZ. Looking for Crucial as Jocko chimes in on Kirby. Now he have the advantage. Lineup potential right here. Sees the swing burst. Sprays onto Max. Does so much damage to Crucial, but NertZ the trade. Lucky with the SMG. Gets them both. Free AK, free money, free round.
And this has been a consistent positive for the HEET side, has been their flash assist. I think their util has been really good on the City side to work off one another. You saw it in a round like that, the support is just coming through, the smoke down on the site directly, the way the M4 of Body's working in and around it, and then Lucky, the one that's up there on the rotate from City Spawn with the MP9, really gets involved into the action, and that's what I'm talking about, Jay. The difference of setups on City side. Endpoint don't double AWP, HEET do though.
Now for Afro, and Lucky for it. Afro not been as stellar so far in this map as he was in the first. Lucky's already struck first onto MiGHTYMAX though. Nades back, Surreal and Crucial, tanking all that damage. They'll try to fast play into the A side, but there's all sorts of CTs around it, and they'll cancel instead. Try to catch off Lucky with a numbers game. The AWP sees one. Afro chimes in alongside Bodyy. There is one trade for NertZ, but a bomb has been lost, and he's all alone.
Yeah, there was a portion of time when Train was in the map pool that we saw MiGHTYMAX and Surreal actually picking up the double AWP from time to time. But definitely these days and in recent history, that has not been part of the philosophy of Endpoint. HEET trying to get as much out of those double ults as possible. Anti-eco frags, Lucky gets 2, body in for 1, and trying to get the confidence as high as possible.
Yeah, just mow through them all as best you can. NertZ now trying to at least isolate a pick. If he can take the AK or one of the AWPs out, force the reinvestment. It's really the best thing that he can do from here. Especially for the AKs, right? If Exercise and Jocko lose those, they're not going to be able to get them back. They can't buy into it. NertZ will lean in as the AWP watches the AK swings and sees, and bodyy has it locked. And that's the lead gained by the Frenchman. Dust2 their domain. And the lead is where they will remain.
And now we sort of pose the question, where is Kirby? When are we going to get some good signs out of him on Dust2?
Yeah.
And what's crazy to think about is that this is a guy who's a major winner, major MVP. He's retired, and he's still tied as the second youngest player on Endpoint.
What? That sounds so baffling.
It does, doesn't it? But yeah, he's younger than Crucial, and he's younger than Surreal, and he's tied with MiGHTYMAX.
Okay, well, we'll take it. I'm sure Endpoint will take it for now. But as you mentioned, they're going to need to see a little bit more out of Kirby at the moment. Middle of the board when it comes to their frag counts. He was second on the top, just behind NertZ. 5 kills behind him over on the overpass. And speaking of NertZ, he has really been the star of the show.
Yeah.
The problem is he's been the only star for Endpoint, whereas you can't say there's been a definitive star for HEET, especially on this CT side. Everyone's been having equal impact.
And we know that in the last 3 months, Lucky, bodyy, Jocko all put up good performances on Dust2. We get some good moments out of from Afro from time to time. And look at this, even bodyy getting aggressive in the lower tunnels with an AWP player, Lucky too.
Yeah, Lucky plays distraction, takes that first shot, pops out, and he baits in the T-side players to move forward and trades easy for bodyy off the back of that. They're going to go up the tunnels, though. It's only Jocko standing by. bodyy takes the swing, sees the spray, and sees the reel to his grave. NertZ with one trade. Lucky and Jocko continue to chime in, though. And the CT side rips apart Endpoint for yet another round.
Hey, you can see with that setup from HEET, they've got the dual crossfire in the lower tunnels, but they've also just got a jiggle spotting player up from the B side directly. And as soon as contact comes through, you put that smoke down. You play out from the car, you waste the time, you wait for rotates to come through from the mid doors. Very well done on the protocols there from HEET. Well read, and everything just came together.
Now HEET are in full control of this. Double AWPs continuing to get brought down. Endpoint on a hero AK half bite. Getting a bit desperate at this stage. They're yet to start on T side. One man in the upper tunnels entrance, Jocko. Utility in his hand, a smoke to go down as soon as he sees a player. Endpoint won't give him that luxury though. He'll back off the same.
We saw a few rounds in that first half in which Endpoint were having 2/3 AKs on the city side. Now HEET are in a similar boat, but they've got the double AWPs to back them up too.
One of which is looking in for mid on Afro. Waiting for his moment to strike, waiting to back up bodyy. But the real attention from Endpoint is turned over towards this long control. 4 players walk in house, 1 man and NertZ playing lurk. That's the AK playing lurk, by the way. Might be a problem as Lucky lines up 2. 1 bullet to remove Surreal with Max. NertZ down to the other AWP. And that's all firepower, all potential removed from play here for Endpoint.
Oh man, what a setup, what a timing. And just when Endpoint start regrouping, just when they bring mass players towards that long position, because we could see that for Lucky, he wasn't over-peaking. He was playing very passively, not holding too wide from that goose position. And then as soon as he goes, right, I'm gonna check, just to have a bit of a geese. He then just spots everything. And from that point onwards, as soon as he gets a multi-frag, as soon as he gets a collide, that round's done.
Watch it again. You can see how many players are bunched up, right?
There was a lot.
That not the best of positioning there from Endpoint. Now a chance as Crucial chimes in with a good AWP shot of his own. Not quite a collateral, but only a head being seen on Lucky, and that's enough to get the frag together. Afro does try the trade back, and NertZ will fall victim to it. Just
because Endpoint win the opening man advantage through the mid pick, they think that they can exploit a time and get very aggressive down from the doors itself. Kirby's trying to catch one of the CTs repositioned on A directly, but instead he gets caught for it.
At least Crucial keeps it even, though. Afro's fallen elsewhere.
Upper tunnels, mate.
Oh, Jocko. How long does he wait? Does he get checked? Oh, this is also real. He's not looking the right way. That's 2 kills. Bomb drops and everything. And Crucial can fight as hard as he wants. He recovered so many frags in this round, but he's unable to get any more. Pressure in the 1v3. It's unlucky 13 for HEET, the last tactical used by Endpoint, because they're the ones feeling unlucky right now.
What a second half, mate. And this just goes back to the conversation of having one of the best Dust2 city halves in the entire competition. The fact that it's up there at nearly 75 round win percentage. I mean, that's a crazy number. That's insanely high. And what I love with the categorization of how HEET are playing on city side is it just feels like there's pincers everywhere. In a round like that, you've obviously got picks coming through from the short position, you've got picks in mid, and then just when you think that Crucial has got what it takes to bring it back to a 3v3, Jocko's just in the upper tunnels. He's just aggressed, and they have no idea he's there. 2 kills, bomb gets dropped, round's finished.
And it's not like it's a massive overextension as well, right?
No,
it's
not at all.
Pushed all the way towards lower tunnels. No, just pushed up upper tunnels, held in the corner, and waited for
Smartly
Endpoint to make
played.
a mistake. Yeah, very smart. Intelligent stuff being posted up here by the HEET side. Agent just took his chance to empower some intelligence towards Endpoint. They need a lot more of it, and then some, really.
BXE.
Yeah, smokes to go down, close to sight, down towards the B doors. The AWP of Lucky doesn't see them at the forward smoke. Spray through from Jocko does, though. MiGHTYMAX caught Lucky swing out from the window area as Jocko will get traded. A 2-1, though. Nade back to Kirby. He evades it, at least. Evades that nade for the time being. That bomb dropped in the open, though. Someone's going to cross and grab it.
That's a very good start, though, in for Jocko. That keeps it fresh right now for HEET. A multi-frag, man advantage situation. They know that Kirby's low. NertZ is desperate to make something happen in mid. He's got to catch them off.
It's being watched by Afro, though. Bomb plant will be secured. Nades up. Doesn't catch Kirby still. He's so low and so close to these casualties. NertZ revealing nothing. Jumping above Xbox might be heard now. There's a spray towards bodyy, a 3-on-3, and he backs up the catwalk, draws further attention away. They got to turn all their sight lines onto the B site here. It's Crucial and Kirby with it all to do. Flash is turned away from Crucial, waiting close as NertZ has dropped now. Lucky with util pulled out, swing out, spray lines up, 1, 2, and 3! And that's huge to finally get Endpoint into the T side.
There we go. That's what we're talking about. Ending the streak and getting started right there. And it came down to the time wasting. NertZ's play down there at Xbox, getting up to short, dropping to CT, wasting so much in the post plant and allowing his teammate to get comfortable behind the B doors, to light it up, to turn away from the flash and just line 3 individuals all up together. Mass damage to be done. Endpoint to double digits.
And Crucial now becoming the backup dancer to NertZ, it feels like, all back in his hands. Found a number of picks in mid. And that's the kind of 3K to get your AWP going. That's the kind of sequence that gets Endpoint hyped up now. Get them back into this matchup. Into the round, it has been slower. Not going to try and catapult themselves on with that momentum.
Upper tunnels,
take
mate.
it a bit more careful, but that has, as you rightfully mentioned, allowed HEET the breathing room to push upper tunnels, get MiGHTYMAX, and drop the bomb.
The uncomfortable situation is how they deal with Crucial, but they've already got bomb control. This is such a good read. Kirby's desperate to get a trade back, but now he's in a difficult position, but the T's come back successfully.
Yeah, Surreal with 2 trades. Jocko responds towards him in a 3-on-3. The incendiaries for exercise to get back out of dodge. Crucial watching with the AWP. The nade's being sent to his general position. By a bit of harder cover. Exercise will fall back, as will the rest of the T side. Now it's bodyy up close and personal. In the cubby corner, waiting for someone to make a move, but Endpoint again slow things down. Again, just back up a little bit to regress forward later.
That got very scrappy. Both teams desperate to get any trades going, but this play out from Longhouse, the AWP's watching.
Kirby might give up the ghost. Lucky's hearing footsteps. He's calling attention back towards him. bodyy might be placed in mid. He still gets the kill. He turns back towards NertZ, but NertZ gets his trade. The AWP of Crucial's caught off. The bomb on his back and everything damaged up as they now bolster up both sites. 1 player each for HEET. Lucky waiting, but Endpoint, 16 seconds. They've got to go now. They can't afford to wait around. Smoke some Molotovs up towards CT spawn, and Lucky can't adjust towards it. It's exercise alone. Out towards tunnel's entrance. Sees one, drops Crucial. 5 seconds for NertZ. Goes for the swing and loses the fight. And HEET are immediately back in control.
Great stuff by the youngest player there on the HEET side, just to deliver when it matters the most. And for Endpoint's sake, just when you feel as if, okay, there's breathing room, you get around, you end the long streak in a row, you can't follow up. You can't make it anymore. And HEET just apply the pressure. And I think this round, Jay, may be the one that catapults them to a map victory to send it to a 3rd.
I'd imagine so as well. Like you mentioned, the follow-up not there for Endpoint. Been a bit of a problem for them on T-side over the course of this series. And at the worst possible moment, Heat look bound for map 3. 2 rounds to get there. Here are the body blocks of Jocko being up close and personal. Nades come down to try to do some damage. Very little is done overall, though. Heat don't have many lines into the Endpoint setup.
And NertZ is waiting for a reface to come through from those CT boxes out and spawn directly, but instead it's passive. It's Jocko to hold down on towards B, and Lucky the same. They're trying to stall for time right now.
Smoke set, AWP so close, MiGHTYMAX undetected. Playing incognito as Afro removes NertZ. The scope's heard, Lucky scoped in. MiGHTYMAX could strike right now, he sees that shadow, he knows he's close, swings out for the perfect headshot. Can he grab that AWP? Can he get Jocko back? Will he get isolated? Yes, he will. Dinked in, Kirby gets credited with the kill, and Max will overextend to bring it into a 3-on-3, but Endpoint have gained the B side.
Now this force buy looking deadly right now for Endpoint, and knowing the fact that that bomb's crossed over on low HP, they can get it down and now put it into a pose.
Yeah, Kirby on one, Exercise sees Surreal now, moves in, and Heat push up in from CT spawn, particularly Afro, first man up to take face. The AK of Crucial with his head tucked down, looks in at the right moment, Exercise will fall, and body's out of there to save at 11 HP. The AWP not good enough for the retake. It's not quite map winning for Heat just yet. Endpoint are hanging in there.
Yeah, what a round by Max, though. When you think about the way that he walks up towards that B site just outside of the window, and he's hearing all those footsteps, he knows there's a player close, but as soon as he gets the shadow, he knows that's the opportunity to strike. And while he doesn't quite multi-frag, while he doesn't get that second player, it forces Jocko into such an uncomfortable position that Kirby, who's there in the upper tunnels, just gets that dome. It opens up the site directly. They force the 3v3 forward and win it out. And I don't know if it's a steal round because it is a force buy, but I'd say it's a very good round.
I'd reckon it's a steal round, honestly, because the Tech 9 is really what ultimately turned it around. The Deegan as well opened up the B site, and for Max and everything to know that he pushed forward at the only real gap in the defensive.
Oh, that was the time for striking for sure.
And it's kind of those kind of gaps that are going to be exploited, that Endpoint are going to need to exploit to bring this map to home. Tactical taken by Heat. I believe they're second so far in this game.
Yeah, Heat winning ECL last season got them the spot here in conference. Currently waiting for playoffs again, Jay. Heat are looking on the up, looking to try and get more results, more victories under their belt. And knowing right here in conference, if they could even qualify to the main event, and that would definitely be a step in the right direction and a meaning and reason to why Heat decided to sign them, because results show.
14-11. AWP boosted for Afro, watching those lower tunnels. Bit of a different setup. He haven't brought this out so far, this map. Endpoint didn't use it much on their CT side. They're recognizing that Endpoint love to go to upper tunnels and, as an extension, go down to lower tunnels as a result. The flash is in, not blinding anybody. The second one does, but still, Afro hits a leg shot.
Now, even that HE just to make sure that if there is a leg, that the further damage can come through or just back him up completely. And Crucial's waiting for a face, and they actually decide to boost up again.
They were thinking they would have driven them back with that HE, and they were right to assume so. Crucial tagged a little bit through that smoke, sprays through on the one-man body. Backing away towards CT spawn. Further flashes sent over. Crucial hunting above that smoke. Good for a kill if he can find a player, but nothing is seen and it will clear.
Heat have always been very frantic with not over-peaking the mid doors without utility. Always having a smoke or a flash if they want to make that crossover. And even for Jocko, he hasn't heard anything for the majority of the round.
Flash and smoke in, swing out from NertZ. Should be an easy kill, but he misses both his chances. Another flashbang comes out, they line up for the CT player, but Surreal finally gets that frag with a lot of damage being done and 30 seconds left. Endpoint are going to move.
Yeah, start getting that move on, get the cross smokes down, allow themselves to take long and move into the A side. Exercise is trying to siphon off any lurk into short.
And Afro sat over at elbow. Smokes go down to cover him and his teammates off. Make their way a bit more aggressive on the site. Molotov set. gap in that smoke put down by Afro, trying to abuse it, but you see so little. Bomb trying to commit, damage is being done, and the plant will be secured. Jump phase from Bodyy cost him his life. Exercise can deal with Crucial. A 4-on-3 for Endpoint here.
Oh, Kirby's got the backstab. He's out towards that CT spawn area. This could be the round-winning play.
He's unknown as well. No one's watching it. Eyes on that mini-map. MiGHTYMAX being tapped down. Lucky caught off damage. Kirby watching. Starting to back up the sandwich in the CT side. They're going to have to commit right here. Exercise has made all this room happen. MiGHTYMAX has no idea. Good kill back. NertZ car sees one player, gets the headshot quickly onto Exercise. The AWP tried to find it, but they're not on the defuse. Now he's seen it. NertZ might go down, but he holds onto himself as the surreal bailout on the site. Endpoint continuing to hold this lifeline.
I think we're getting very close to the overtime discussion, Jay. You're down 12-14. Money situation's not ideal. This could be a very tight Dust2. Definitely feels as if it has the guts to go the distance, to go very far forward in the second map of the best of 3. And knowing that HEET are just on an eco, anything would be great in a round like this. A pick, a saved-in weapon, a steal, if at all possible.
Pistols pulled out by HEET, and they have managed to take rounds with pistols so far in this series. Quick tunnels crunch. Upper tunnels itself, taps up against Kirby. Surreal and Kirby and NertZ, however. One pick apiece, deal with it. And that's HEET's main objective, their main focus in this round. It's decimated by the Endpoint rifles, and not much else they can do with it. Check out those upgrades if possible for Jocko's part. The P250 in his hands. Do some damage. Not against NertZ.
Yeah, very good performance up against the anti-eco in a round like this, making sure that nobody's dropped. That CZ not quite being able to get the last kill. So 13-0 going up for Endpoint. And just, I mean, keep in mind, we haven't seen Endpoint play in nearly 60 days with a HLTV official. It's been quite a while. And you've got a debut player in for Kirby going up against one of the strongest teams in the conference. And the 2-0, it's looming. It's there for the taking.
Only 3 rounds to get there. HEET only need 2, though, to take us to map 3. They're still in the lead. They still have dominion over Endpoint. Endpoint still doing the catching up. And a shot from Lucky will not encourage them any further. NertZ first to fall.
That drops the big man. Afro now thinking about prodding and pressing slightly aggressive in the upper tunnels. This is where the regroup is.
Close for Kirby, but Afro connects it. Has backup right behind him as well. Jocko will also fall out of dodge. Swing forward to the M4, seeing nothing in the tunnel's position. A 5-on-3 has been gained here. HEET working around the exploits and catching Endpoint off. Now the smokes will come down, indicating a beast like XC. Jocko waiting, sprays back, manically doing the damage. And the T-side player's gone right past him. MiGHTYMAX forced to a jump, spray through on the double. He's recovered it. They've gained the B-site.
Oh, it's Max again to step up in the important rounds. And now for HEET, you even wondered to yourself, Jay, do they retake? Do they go for this in the 3v3?
Oh, with Crucial being a 5 HP, surely you must, but they won't know about that. Held back at Plat, and now watching the tunnel's entrance. Surreal. AK turned away from flashes. And now they form up 2 inbound from tunnels. Crucial looking for this first shot and connects it despite the flashbang coming into support. Exercise, quick trade. Now 2 versus 2, but MiGHTYMAX is going mighty ham as he gets his triple. And Exercise wraps the corner, desperately looking for his backup, desperately looking for the player on the site, but he just can't seem to get the angles necessary. It's Endpoint, 14 apiece, will play all 30 rounds. They are so on for this duel. It might not even need to be overtime.
MiGHTYMAX stepping up again. And this is why Endpoint won him. This is why Endpoint have had him for so long. The experience, the clutch situations, and just the impactful moments to realize how down in the dumps you were. That's a 3-on-5. He gets a double entry on the site. If this play doesn't come through, Endpoint aren't winning that round.
And a big clutch from their big clutcher, MiGHTYMAX, back in the UK circuit in the ESL Premiership. There was a season he went winning the most clutches of any player.
Mate, it's a few seasons and he's always up there.
Regardless, it is a clutch man at the clutch moment for Endpoint to clutch this match in 2-0 fashion. Third, tactical, called by HEET. They need to shut this down. They need to do it now.
And keep in mind, though, for HEET, you've still got the AWP. So while you're not going to force buy come round 29, there could still be some magic in the air. And I'm imagining that Afro's going to do something very aggressive. Maybe go for that short boost again, go into the lower tunnels. They've got to get as much out of this weapon as possible.
Just think back to Overpass, right? He pushed up T-Con, he got 2 kills, and that was enough to win the round outright for HEET. This round is so on with the pressure mounting. You can imagine there can be some magic coming out from the Frenchman. Afro boosted up towards mid, missed the window on the first contact, but it's MiGHTYMAX that comes out worse for wear against body's engagement. 21 HP for the CT player, Max only on 6.
Yeah, that long corner smoke not quite going down by the looks of it at Endpoint, so it means that a lot of the vision can get regained. And now with long control starting to come through, they can move players back over towards the A site, leave exercise if they want.
He'll fall back with them, he'll join his teammates though. Deep on the A site defensive. The AWP on that B play. Endpoint don't know it. I don't know if they can hear the footsteps. I imagine that Jocko can hear something in the tunnels. He'll back up, however. No one's watching mid directly here for HEET. That's going to try to set something up out towards the short position.
And they want to try and press, and they want to get a weapon, and that would be really good, because you've got a couple of players here with Kevlar, so if they can get a rifle into the hands, this round could be even more costly.
Kirby watching stage 1 and 2, takes a dig back for it. Endpoint starting to get a little bit nervous here. Damage on 2 players, and HEET still have a number of 100 HP individuals. AWP and Max missing his shot. Molotov sent out towards the site as Afro leans in towards mid, sees nothing. The focus is all on this long take, but he has a chance. He misses the shot back behind the smokes. Crucial. Trying to lead them into the site, but just still can't see anything. Bodyy finally spotted back at Gandalf, takes his things, continuous damage coming in, and now all 5 CTs are here. Time pressure against Endpoint, and finally, Lucky will fall. 1 man down. AWP also seen. Surreal's going to go for the plant. Bodyy can't deny it here. He'll try, and he'll get dealt with.
Very good composure there from Endpoint, working up the ramp control. You can see that clock was just further ticking, but they don't get too chaotic. They don't get too crazy. And Jocko at exercise, just trying to make sure they hold on to that AWP. Everything else doesn't really matter. Endpoint up to 15 from 14. 1 more to go. And he have been on 14 for quite a while now.
I know Alan's sitting in this green room real happy right now.
Job's not done, mate.
You're right about that. But the fact that Endpoint have grinded this back from near map point. About to take down the last player exercise as well. There he goes. Nothing to play with, at least saved in from this previous round. The buy, of course, will come through from the HEET side. But for the first time in, I believe, a very long time, at least since that first half, Endpoint have a lead above HEET on Dust2. A 15-14 lead. It's 1 round to separate Endpoint from the win and HEET from overtime.
I don't even know if there's enough money to go for a double AWP setup. No, there isn't. And that just shows how impactful keeping that AWP could have been at the end of that round, because they've only got 1 now.
It's in the hands of Afro. As NertZ, star player of this game, 32 picks deep, 33 picks deep, 34 picks deep. That's a big double. A 5-on-3 that Endpoint may utilize to get this one over the finish line.
He was the only long player. No incendiary going back to the blue bin, and that just allows a double, a multi-frag to come through from the longhouse. And with such early damage being done, they've got time to slow it down, Jay. Force in some mistakes, force in over-aggressive info plays here from HEET, because they're getting desperate in a 3v5 like this.
It goes quiet again. Everything slows down as Endpoint like to play it here on T side. Careful, composed. Clamoring at the chance to get this 16. Molotov's down on Afro. Gap in that smoke put out there. Flashbangs will try to suppress the T side. Endpoint aren't going to act though. 45 seconds to do so.
Kirby's the late lurk. He can come through from the short position. They've just got to pull enough distraction towards his long position.
Afro still sitting there at the car. The Molotov sent back to the back lines of it. Doesn't extend thanks to that smoke. Now Endpoint to make the move in. Oh, shots connect alongside Lucky's kill. Endpoint waited so long, now they've dropped the bomb. Third player can make his way out, but Afro's going to get overwhelmed. It's Lucky alone on the site, ready for a backstab against Kirby. Now Jocko's joined the fray. Utility set down, flash over. Lucky caught off though. Kirby strikes. It's Jocko left in the 1v3 clutch, and he cannot do it. It's Endpoint securing it at the last hurdle, a 16-14 on Dust2, and a 2-0 series victory above HEET.
That is a massive upset.
Yes.
To do it in 2 as well. And for Endpoint, it came down to rounds in a row, one after the other, the streak building. And for HEET, not closing when it matters the most.
I know. 14 rounds they had there, Dwayne. That was a ridiculous streak.